Oscars 2025. Morgan Freeman gives heartfelt eulogy for friend Gene Hackman.
And I lost a dear friend, Gene Hackman.
Truth, and agreed. Listen, I like what you do. I like what you do. We need to work together.
Have a chance to work with him once.
In recent days, many of Hollywood's biggest stars have expressed their heartfelt condolences and deep grief over the sudden passing of screen legend Gene Hackman. At the 2025 Oscars, emotions were running high when Morgan Freeman took the stage to deliver a moving eulogy for his longtime friend. A two-time Oscar winner whose iconic performances have shaped generations, Hackman left an indelible legacy in cinema. Freeman's tribute, combined with other emotional moments throughout the night, made this year's Oscars one of the most emotionally powerful ceremonies ever. Join us as we revisit this memorable night. The Oscars, officially known as the Academy Awards, are prestigious accolades presented annually by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, AMPAS, to recognize excellence in cinematic achievements. Winning an Oscar is considered a high honor and can significantly boost the careers of actors, filmmakers, and other industry professionals. They are globally recognized as the most prestigious awards in the entertainment industry. The Oscars 2025 was a night of cinematic excellence, emotional tributes, and historic wins. Among the most memorable moments was Morgan Freeman's heartfelt eulogy for his late friend, Gene Hackman.
And I lost a dear friend, Gene Hackman, as someone who tried to do good work.
Honoring the legendary actor's remarkable career and recent passing. As the lights dimmed and a hush fell over the grand Dolby Theater, Morgan Freeman took slow, measured steps to the stage. The weight of the moment was evident in his solemn expression, his familiar voice steady yet tinged with emotion. For decades, Freeman and Hackman had shared more than just the silver screen. They shared a deep mutual respect, a bond built on talent, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to the craft. Standing before a sea of Hollywood's finest, Freeman's words carried a quiet power. Gene was never one for the spotlight off-screen, he began, his voice rich with both sorrow and admiration. He walked away from this industry on his own terms, but his performances, they never left us. They never will. Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman shared more than just the screen. They shared a bond built on respect, admiration, and a deep understanding of the craft. Their friendship wasn't loud or publicized, it was steady, the kind that needed no grand gestures to prove its depth. They first worked together in Unforgiven, 1992, Clint Eastwood's Oscar-winning masterpiece, where their performances wove seamlessly into a tale of justice and redemption. Hackman as the ruthless sheriff, Little Bill Daggett, and Freeman as the weary yet loyal Ned Logan, created a dynamic that was as gripping as it was unforgettable. But it wasn't just their on-screen chemistry that connected them, it was their shared philosophy on acting. Both men believed in the power of subtlety, in the weight of silence, in the idea that true mastery wasn't about grandstanding, but about making every word, every pause matter. They reunited years later in Under Suspicion, 2000, this time as adversaries in a psychological battle of wits. Even then, with Hackman's detective and Freeman's prosecutor locked in an intense cat-and-mouse game, there was an unspoken ease between them. Two legends sharpening each other's performances like old friends sharing a dance. Off-screen, their camaraderie was effortless. Hackman, often a private man, found in Freeman a kindred spirit. Someone who, like him, let his work speak louder than his words. Freeman, in turn, saw in Hackman a mentor, a giant whose humility was as striking as his talent. "I thought of him as a father," Freeman would later say, reflecting on their years of friendship. He made Hollywood feel a little less overwhelming, a little more like home. Their collaborations were few but powerful, and their friendship, built on quiet understanding and mutual respect, was the kind that lasts beyond the final curtain call. In Oscar 2025, The audience listened intently as Freeman painted a picture of Hackman, not just as an actor, but as a man. A private, principled figure whose strength lay in his restraint, whose brilliance was in his subtleties. He recalled moments on set where Hackman's mere presence elevated every scene, where a simple glance or a measured pause spoke volumes. Gene didn't just act. He lived every character he played. He made us believe in every lawman, every villain, every underdog fighting against the odds. Freeman paused, his eyes reflecting memories of a friendship spanning decades. He was the kind of man who never sought applause, and yet tonight I can hear it. I can feel it. At that moment, the audience, already moved, erupted into a standing ovation, honoring Hackman's extraordinary legacy. Some wiped away tears, others nodded in quiet agreement. This was not just an actor they were celebrating, but an era, a legend, a man who had defined storytelling in its purest form. As the applause echoed through the hall, Freeman looked upward, as if speaking to his late friend. "Gene, wherever you are, I hope you know. You were the best of us." With that, he stepped back, his tribute complete, but the impact of his words lingering in the hearts of all who watched.
Bodies of the Hollywood legend and his wife, Betsy, were discovered in their New Mexico home.
The mysterious death of Gene Hackman and his wife. On February 26, 2025, the film industry was shaken by the tragic discovery of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman, 95, and his wife, classical pianist Betsy Arakawa, 65, found deceased in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home. A maintenance worker, concerned after days without contact, alerted authorities who, upon arrival, found the couple along with one of their 3 dogs, all lifeless.
There were 2 green in color cell phones, 2 bottles of medication, 1 bottle of
The circumstances surrounding their deaths have raised numerous questions. Hackman was discovered in the foyer, fully clothed, while Arakawa was located in a bathroom near a portable heater, with prescription medications scattered nearby. Notably, data from Hackman's pacemaker indicated it ceased functioning on February 17th, suggesting they may have been deceased for over a week before being found. Initial investigations ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning, as tests returned negative and no significant gas leaks were detected, despite a minor one deemed non-lethal. Site turns 0 News 20. Autopsies revealed no external trauma, and authorities have found no signs of foul play. However, the presence of scattered medications and the unusual positioning of the bodies have led officials to label the deaths as suspicious, warranting a thorough investigation. The couple's 2 other dogs were found alive on the property, adding to the perplexity of the situation. As the community mourns the loss of these 2 beloved figures, authorities continue to await toxicology reports to provide clearer insights into this tragic event. Do you think the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa were due to natural causes? Comment. Yes if you think so, and no if you think otherwise. Hollywood remembers. Gene Hackman. Tributes pour in for a cinematic legend. Hollywood was left in shock and mourning following the unexpected passing of Gene Hackman. As news of his death spread, tributes poured in from fellow actors, directors, and industry veterans, each honoring the man who had redefined storytelling with his commanding presence and unparalleled talent. Oscar winners and longtime colleagues like Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Clint Eastwood, and Tom Hanks expressed their profound sadness, recalling Hackman's dedication to his craft and the indelible mark he left on Hollywood. Tom Hanks, who rarely posts on social media, made an exception, writing, "There has never been a Gene Hackman type. There's only been Gene." Star Clint Eastwood, who directed and acted alongside Hackman in Unforgiven, described him as intense and instinctive, never a false note. He was also a dear friend whom I will miss very much. Meryl Streep, who once described Hackman as the embodiment of authenticity on screen, shared heartfelt words about his generosity as an actor and his ability to elevate every performance he gave. Younger generations of actors, many of whom grew up idolizing Hackman's work, also paid tribute. Josh Brolin, whose father, James Brolin, once worked alongside Hackman, reflected on his immense influence, writing, "I studied him, I admired him, and I'm grateful that I got to witness his brilliance." Viola Davis shared her admiration for Hackman's fearless performances, stating, "He was a master of his craft, a true storyteller. His work was raw, real, and utterly unforgettable." Meanwhile, Leonardo DiCaprio, in an emotional statement, described him as a titan of cinema whose influence will never fade, while Denzel Washington reflected on Hackman's wisdom and quiet mentorship behind the scenes. Directors who had the privilege of working with him, including Francis Ford Coppola and Ron Howard, spoke of his relentless pursuit of excellence. Coppola, who directed Hackman in The Conversation, called him a rare breed, an actor so gifted that he made every line, every silence feel profound. Howard, who once collaborated with Hackman, reminisced about his meticulous approach to each role, calling him a true artist who never settled for anything less than brilliance. Gene Hackman's career stands as a testament to the power of raw talent, relentless dedication, and an uncompromising pursuit of authenticity. Born in 1930, Hackman's rise to stardom was anything but conventional. After serving in the Marine Corps, he struggled to break into acting, often facing rejection. Yet, his perseverance paid off when he gained recognition in the 1960s, proving that his talent was impossible to overlook. His breakthrough came in Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, where his portrayal of Buck Barrow earned him an Oscar nomination. But it was The French Connection, 1971, that cemented his place among Hollywood's finest, as his gripping performance as Detective Popeye Doyle won him the Academy Award for Best Actor. Hackman's ability to bring depth and grit to his roles made him a defining force of 1970s cinema, with films like The Conversation, 1974, and Superman, 1978, where he delivered an unforgettable take on the villainous Lex Luthor. The 1980s and 1990s only solidified his reputation, from the intense Mississippi Burning, 1988, to his Oscar-winning turn in Unforgiven, 1992, Hackman's performances were consistently commanding. What set Hackman apart was his ability to bring realism to every role, immersing audiences in the depths of his characters. Whether leading a gripping thriller, commanding a dramatic western, or injecting charisma into films like The Royal Tenenbaums, 2001, he was always captivating. His talent was recognized with multiple accolades, including 5 Academy Award nominations, 4 Golden Globes, and 2 BAFTAs. After decades of excellence, Hackman left the screen in 2004 following Welcome to Mooseport. Though his retirement marked the end of an era, his body of work remains a masterclass in acting. He never sought the spotlight, but instead let his performances speak for themselves. In doing so, he became one of the most respected actors of all time, a legend whose presence on screen was nothing short of extraordinary. So when news of his passing broke, the outpouring of grief was immediate and profound, a testament to the deep respect and love he had earned throughout his career. Social media became a space for Hollywood to collectively grieve, with heartfelt messages flooding in from actors, filmmakers, and fans alike. Kevin Costner posted a photo from their time on Wyatt Earp's writing, "A legend, a mentor, and a friend. Rest easy, Gene." Meanwhile, Steven Spielberg, in a rare public statement, expressed gratitude for Hackman's contributions, stating, "Gene's performances were never just acting, they were windows into the soul of his characters." On the evening of March 2nd, 2025, the Oscars took a solemn yet deeply moving moment to honor Gene Hackman and the many luminaries lost over the past year. Visionary directors, gifted actors, brilliant writers, and trailblazing pioneers who shaped Hollywood's golden eras and beyond. As the montage unfolded, a hauntingly beautiful score underscored each tribute, heightening the poignancy of familiar faces now immortalized in film history. One by one, their images graced the screen, including Donald Sutherland, known for his commanding presence across decades of film. Glenda Jackson, the celebrated actress and politician, and Alan Arkin, whose versatility defined his Oscar-winning career. The audience watched in quiet reverence, some with tear-filled eyes, others clasping their hands in reflection, each person feeling the immense weight of these losses. And then, as the final tribute faded, a simple yet powerful message emerged. Their stories live on. A moment of silence hung in the air before the theater erupted into applause, a heartfelt collective farewell to those who had dedicated their lives to the magic of film. Beyond the solemn and poignant moment of memoriam, the 97th Academy Awards was an evening of cinematic triumphs, emotional tributes, and unforgettable surprises. From historic wins to unexpected surprises, the night celebrated cinematic excellence while delivering a spectacle of glamour, humor, and heartfelt moments. Let's take a moment to honor his memory. Comment RIP Gene to send your prayers and condolences.
The winner is Mr. Gene Hackman.
Major wins and records.
Thank you very much. I just want to start at the beginning. Quick thanks to David Valdez, who's a wonderful guy. Thank you.
Memorable moments from the 2025 Oscars. The 97th Academy Awards was an evening of cinematic triumphs, emotional tributes, and unforgettable surprises. From historic wins to unexpected upsets, the night honored excellence in film while offering a spectacle of glamour, humor, and heartfelt moments. Major wins and records.
Oscar goes to...
The evening's biggest winner was Sean Baker's Anora, which dominated the awards with 5 Oscars,
We fall in love with the movies at the movie theater,
including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Film Editing.
Yo, did you pick up milk?
That's terrible. I can't even roll my R's.
The film's success was further cemented by Mikey Madison, who won Best Actress for her performance, making history as the 9th youngest recipient of the award at just 25 years old.
Here, standing in this room today is, really...
Adrian Brody, known for his remarkable versatility, claimed the Best Actor award for his powerful performance in The Brutalist, adding another milestone to his distinguished career.
In a more inclusive world, and I believe if the past continues...
Making history,
I am the first American of Dominican origin to
Zoe Saldana became the first American of Dominican descent to win an Oscar, earning Best Supporting Actress for her role in Emilia Perez. Meanwhile, Kieran Culkin, long recognized for his talent, finally had his breakthrough moment, winning Best Supporting Actor for A Real Pain. Unforgettable moments. Beyond the awards, the night was filled with memorable moments that captivated audiences worldwide. Making his much-anticipated first appearance as an Oscar host, comedian Conan O'Brien set the perfect tone for the night with his sharp wit and engaging humor.
Not angry, but slightly disappointed.
Keeping the audience entertained from start to finish, music played a significant role in elevating the emotional depth of the ceremony. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo delivered stunning musical performances, paying tribute to the year's most celebrated films and adding a sense of grandeur to the event. One of the night's most talked about moments came when Edward Norton was caught on camera seemingly mouthing an expletive after losing Best Supporting Actor to Kieran Culkin. The candid moment quickly went viral, sparking widespread discussion on social media. Fashion highlights. The Oscars' red carpet remained a focal point for fashion, with dazzling ensembles and bold style statements. Ariana Grande stunned in a custom Schiaparelli pink gown, a clear homage to her role in Wicked, while Cynthia Erivo embraced her character, Elphaba's iconic color, dazzling in an emerald Louis Vuitton gown. Miley Cyrus turned heads with a dramatic transformation, sporting bleached eyebrows and a sleek bob, perfectly complementing her elegant attire. Similarly, Demi Moore captivated onlookers in a striking silver gown, exuding timeless glamour. Meanwhile, the cast of Heartstopper, Kit Connor, Joe Locke, and Yasmin Finney embodied classic sophistication in black and white ensembles. However, the Vanity Fair Oscar party brought controversy, as Megan Thee Stallion, Zoe Kravitz, and Julia Fox faced criticism for their daring outfit choices. reigniting debates on fashion standards. Memorable interactions. A romantic display between Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, who shared a public kiss, instantly became a major talking point, fueling media and fan discussions. In a humorous twist, Adam Sandler defied Oscar fashion norms by arriving in shorts and a sweatshirt, making a bold statement in his signature laid-back style, and proving that red carpet glamour isn't for everyone. The Oscars 2025 was a night of both celebration and heartfelt remembrance, honoring the brilliance of cinema while paying tribute to the legends who left an indelible mark on Hollywood. Amid the glamour and historic wins, the ceremony's most poignant moment came during the In Memoriam segment, where the industry paused to remember Gene Hackman, among other departed icons. With emotional speeches, standing ovations, and a deep sense of nostalgia, this year's Academy Awards proved that while the stars may fade, their legacies continue to shine on the silver screen. What FBI found in Gene Hackman's mansion will leave you shocked.
And I lost a dear friend, Gene Hackman.
A few days ago, the internet was flooded with headlines that seemed too shocking to believe.
Superman Gene Hackman has died at the age of 95.
Gene Hackman, the legendary Oscar-winning American actor.
Bodies of the Hollywood legend and his wife, Betsy, were discovered in their New Mexico home.
But the tragedy didn't stop there. That same day in his home, his wife, Betsy Arakawa, and their beloved dog were also found dead.
We just found one deceased person inside the house.
Are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
The discovery was made by a maintenance worker who, upon noticing the couple unresponsive through a window, promptly contacted 911. What really happened inside his Santa Fe home?
Suspicion surrounds the deaths of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman.
At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. An autopsy was conducted, and initial findings reported no external trauma on either body. But as investigators delved deeper, unsettling details began to emerge.
There were 2 green in color cell phones, 2 bottles of medication, 1 bottle of over-the...
Among the items found at the scene, 2 green cell phones, 2 bottles of medication, and a single bottle of over-the-counter Tylenol. On their own, they seemed innocuous, but together they painted a picture riddled with unanswered questions. What should have been a straightforward case was quickly becoming something far more complex. Gene Hackman is a legendary Hollywood actor known for his powerful performances and commanding screen presence.
Or top of the world, ma. Top of the world.
At 95, Gene Hackman left behind a legacy few actors could rival. A 2-time Academy Award winner for The French Connection and Unforgiven, he starred in over 80 films, seamlessly moving between drama, action, and comedy. For many, he was the ultimate Lex Luthor in the Superman films, or the unforgettable patriarch in The Royal Tenenbaums. Film historians praised his versatility, with one noting, he was believable in action films, had depth in dramatic roles, and was genuinely funny in movies like Get Shorty. Starred Hackman stepped away from acting in 2009, citing health concerns. His last major public appearance came in 2003 when he accepted a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Golden Globes, one final tribute to a career that defined Hollywood greatness. In 2023, Gene Hackman was seen in public for the last time, stepping out with his wife outside a restaurant in New Mexico. Though far less known than her legendary husband, Betsy Arakawa was an essential part of Gene Hackman's life. The two married and moved in together in the 1990s, and by the decade's end, made a life-changing decision to leave behind the chaos of Los Angeles and settle in the tranquility of Santa Fe, New Mexico. For them, Santa Fe became more than just a home. It was a sanctuary. There, they embraced the simple joys of life, art, music, and the breathtaking landscapes of the Southwest. Their residence, featured in Architectural Digest in 1990, was a masterpiece in its own right. An elegant blend of Southwestern design, perched atop a 12-acre hill with panoramic views of the surrounding mountains. For over 3 decades, Gene and Betsy were inseparable. While Hackman retired from acting in 2004, their life in Santa Fe remained rich with culture, close friendships, and quiet moments away from Hollywood's glare. And in the end, they left this world together, just as they had lived side by side. Let's take a moment to honor their memory. Comment R.I.P. Gene to send your prayers and condolences. But what really happened in their final days? And could the unsettling details surrounding their deaths point to a mystery far more sinister than anyone expected? Authorities have revealed new details about the tragic deaths of Gene Hackman, his wife Betsy, and one of their 3 dogs. According to police reports, Betsy was found near a bathroom, though the specific bedroom it was connected to remains unclear. It is presumed to be the master bedroom. Just 10 to 15 feet away, inside a closet, one of their dogs was also found deceased. Meanwhile, Gene Hackman's body was discovered near the kitchen.
Body was found near the kitchen area. A deputy stated he suspected the male individual.
Investigators have taken particular interest in the condition in which they found him, as it suggests that whatever happened was sudden and unexpected. Hackman was positioned near a door leading outside with a pair of sunglasses lying beside him, an indication that he may have been wearing them or holding them at the time of the incident. The fact that the couple and their dog were found in separate areas of the house suggests they were engaged in their usual daily routines when disaster struck. A space heater was located near Betsy's body, immediately raising questions about the possibility of carbon monoxide poisoning. However, authorities reported that there were no visible signs of foul play, no blunt force trauma, and no other immediate indications of external harm. Given that both Hackman, Betsy, and their dog succumbed under similar circumstances, carbon monoxide poisoning became a primary theory. Gene Hackman's daughter has shared her thoughts on his passing at 95, suggesting that carbon monoxide poisoning could have been a factor. On Thursday, Elizabeth Gene Hackman told TMZ that she suspects toxic fumes may have contributed to the tragic deaths of her father and his wife. Despite his advanced age, she emphasized that he had been in remarkably good health. With no prior signs of illness, she believes a gas leak or exposure to carbon monoxide might have played a role. Even at his age, he was in great shape, she stated. But when the gas company conducted tests, they found no evidence of a leak from the home's gas lines. Investigators have turned their focus to the space heater, but skepticism remains about whether a single device could generate enough carbon monoxide to cause fatalities in different parts of a large multi-story house. Adding to the mystery, 2 of the couple's 3 dogs survived, one of them found outside the home and another inside, near Betsy's body. Investigators moved quickly to eliminate any potential dangers, but a thorough inspection of the gas lines revealed no faults. With the cause still unknown, authorities continue to gather evidence, awaiting autopsy and toxicology reports that could hold the key to the case. Officials have promised answers, vowing to uncover the truth behind the shocking and tragic deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. Another unsettling detail is that the house's door was found slightly ajar when maintenance workers arrived. It remains uncertain whether Hackman opened the door before collapsing, or if it was left open under different circumstances, or if someone else had entered or left before the police arrived. If carbon monoxide was indeed responsible, one possibility is that the dog found inside had been outdoors at some point, which may have allowed it to survive. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered something that only led to more questions. Medication. A lot of it. Bottles filled with pills for high blood pressure, chest pain, and thyroid issues. Tylenol, medical testing records. But whose were they? Authorities wouldn't say. What they did confirm was that none of the bottles were spilled or scattered, except for the ones found near Gene's body in the bathroom. Had she collapsed while reaching for her medicine, or was there more to the story? Detectives weren't willing to leave anything to chance. They collected the bottles and sent them for further analysis. Toxicology tests would take weeks, but they could hold the key, revealing whether any of these drugs, or a dangerous combination of them, had played a role in the couple's deaths. And then another unsettling discovery: the condition of their bodies. Both Hackman and Arakawa had been dead long enough for the dry, high-altitude air of Santa Fe to begin mummifying them. Gene's hands and feet had already started the process, a grim sign that time and the elements had been at work. Without surveillance footage or a clear record of their last moments alive, investigators were left in the dark about exactly when Gene Hackman and his wife had died. But there was one unlikely source of evidence. Hidden inside Gene's own body, Hackman had been fitted with a pacemaker, a device designed to regulate his heartbeat. What many don't realize is that pacemakers don't just keep a person alive, they also keep records. Each time the device activates, it logs data, creating a digital heartbeat timeline that doctors, and in this case, detectives, can analyze. Hoping for answers, investigators accessed Hackman's pacemaker data. What they discovered was chilling. The last recorded activity from his device was on February 17th, 9 days before their bodies were found. That meant he had been dead for more than a week before anyone noticed something was wrong. But that revelation only deepened the mystery. If Hackman had died first, what had happened to his wife, Arakawa? Had she passed at the same time? Or had she been alive for days, unaware? Or worse, trapped in a far more sinister scenario? The timeline was more tangled than ever. Clues surfaced, but instead of bringing clarity, they only deepened the mystery. One thing, however, was becoming undeniable. This was no simple case of natural causes. So what exactly did investigators uncover inside Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's home? And more importantly, what do these items reveal about their final days? The passing of Gene Hackman remains a shock to many, but his legacy is undeniable. Gene Hackman's journey to becoming one of Hollywood's most respected actors was anything but easy. He began his training at the prestigious Pasadena Playhouse in California, but his peers were far from encouraging. In fact, he was voted least likely to succeed. Rather than letting the criticism discourage him, Hackman used it as motivation to prove them wrong. While studying at Pasadena Playhouse, he struck up a friendship with another struggling actor, Dustin Hoffman, who would also go on to become a Hollywood legend. However, finding work was a challenge for Hackman. Despite numerous auditions, he was repeatedly turned down due to both his appearance and acting style. But he refused to give up. Determined to improve, he took small roles in theater productions, working tirelessly to hone his craft. Gradually, he started landing minor parts in television shows and films. His persistence paid off when he secured his first movie role in Lilith, 1964. But it was Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, that catapulted him into the spotlight. Playing Buck Barrow, the loyal yet tragic brother of Warren Beatty's Clyde, Hackman delivered a natural and emotionally charged performance that resonated with audiences and critics alike. His work earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, marking his arrival as one of Hollywood's rising stars. His true breakthrough, however, came in 1971 with The French Connection. Starring as Popeye Doyle, a relentless yet morally conflicted police officer, Hackman gave a raw and electrifying performance that won him his first Oscar for Best Actor. The film was a major success, influencing the crime genre for years to come and cementing Hackman as one of the industry's most sought-after talents. Riding the momentum, Hackman continued to take on complex and compelling roles. In 1974, he collaborated with director Francis Ford Coppola on The Conversation, portraying Harry Call, a lonely and guilt-ridden surveillance expert. The film received an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture, and critics hailed Hackman's deeply introspective performance as one of his finest. Throughout the 1970s, he continued to build an impressive resume, starring in films like Scarecrow, 1973, alongside Al Pacino. The film, a moving exploration of friendship and isolation, was further elevated by the chemistry between its two leads. Then, in 1978, Hackman took a sharp turn into blockbuster territory, playing the cunning and charismatic villain Lex Luthor in Superman, opposite Christopher Reeve. Infusing the character with both wit and menace, he made Luthor one of the most memorable antagonists in movie history. With each role, Hackman proved his versatility, seamlessly shifting between intense dramas and larger-than-life performances. His career, built on resilience and sheer talent, transformed him from an underestimated outsider to one of the most celebrated actors in Hollywood history. When authorities stepped into the Santa Fe estate, they expected answers. Instead, they found a puzzle. Among the possessions left behind, detectives identified 6 items that stood out: 2 green cell phones, a set of medical records, a 2025 planner, and 3 bottles of medication, including 1 over-the-counter Tylenol. Each object held the potential to shed light on the final moments inside that house. Were they mere remnants of everyday life, or silent witnesses to something far more unsettling? The first major clue: 2 green cell phones. A person's phone is a digital time capsule, holding the final pieces of their story. Texts, call logs, voicemails, search history, GPS locations. Investigators seized both devices, hoping to reconstruct the couple's last days. Who had they spoken to last? Had either of them tried to call for help? Had Betsy been reaching out to someone while Gene was already gone? And perhaps the most unsettling question: was there something on those phones that someone didn't want to be found? Then came the 2025 monthly planner. At first glance, it seemed like just another household item, but in cases like these, a calendar can be a silent witness. People use them to track doctor's appointments, medications, meetings, sometimes even personal thoughts. Did Gene or Betsy have an upcoming medical visit? Were there notes about their health? Had they left behind any clues hinting at trouble? And then the medications, 3 different kinds. Thyroid medication, a common prescription, but a possible sign of underlying health concerns. Diltiazem, used for high blood pressure and chest pain, was one of them struggling with heart issues? Tylenol, harmless in most cases, but when found near the deceased, it can take on an entirely different meaning. Each clue brought more questions than answers. But one thing was clear: something about this case wasn't adding up. The most unsettling discovery lay on the bathroom counter near Betsy's body. A bottle of pills, its contents scattered. Had she collapsed while taking them? Had she taken too many? Or had someone else placed them there? When asked whether the pills could be linked to their deaths, Sheriff Mendoza refused to rule anything out. The truth would depend on toxicology reports, but those results wouldn't come quickly. For now, all investigators could do was wait and wonder what the tests might reveal. Do you think the death of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa was of natural causes? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Gene Hackman's daughter Elizabeth is one of 3 children from his first marriage to Faye Maltese. Hackman and Maltese were married for 3 decades, from 1956 until their divorce in 1986. Maltese later passed away in 2017. In 1991, Hackman married Betsy Arakawa, and after stepping away from Hollywood, he chose to live a private life, rarely making public appearances. Elizabeth noted that while her father's passing at the age of 95 was not unexpected, the sudden loss of Betsy Arakawa at 63 raised more questions. She described their marriage as deeply loving and credited Betsy with playing a crucial role in Hackman's well-being. "She truly took great care of him and was always looking out for his health," said Leslie. "For that, I am incredibly grateful, and her passing is heartbreaking." In one of his rare public outings, Hackman had recently attended a comedy show in his city. His daughters, Elizabeth and Leslie, along with his granddaughter Annie, expressed their profound grief over his death. With heavy hearts, we share the sad news of our father Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy's passing, the family said in a statement to People. While the world knew him as an iconic actor, to us he was simply Dad and Grandpa. His loss leaves a void that words cannot fill, and we are truly devastated. As John Yang reports, Gene Hackman was widely regarded as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Over a career spanning more than 40 years, he appeared in 79 films, earning praise for his ability to bring depth and realism to a wide range of roles across multiple genres. His breakout performance came in Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, where he played a fiercely loyal outlaw, earning his first of 5 Academy Award nominations. He went on to take on a variety of unforgettable roles, from a paranoid surveillance expert in The Conversation to the ruthless and charismatic Lex Luthor in Superman, and a relentless FBI investigator in Mississippi Burning. Many of his most iconic performances featured tough, uncompromising characters. In The French Connection, he played a relentless New York City cop determined to bring down criminals at any cost. His portrayal of a violent, power-hungry sheriff in Unforgiven showcased his ability to command the screen, even opposite Clint Eastwood. But Hackman wasn't just known for intense dramas. He had a talent for comedy as well. He played the eccentric, manipulative patriarch in The Royal Tenenbaums and a rigidly conservative senator in The Birdcage, proving his range as an actor. As he grew older, Hackman spoke about the challenges of aging in the industry, particularly in memorizing lines. Still, he remained deeply passionate about acting, saying it had allowed him to fulfill many of his childhood dreams. Beyond film, Hackman was also a published author, writing or co-writing 5 books, including historical fiction and westerns. Following his passing, filmmakers and fellow actors flooded social media with tributes, honoring his immense contributions to cinema and his unforgettable legacy. At the 97th Academy Awards on March 2, 2025, the film industry paid tribute to the late Gene Hackman in a moving ceremony led by his longtime friend and co-star, Morgan Freeman. During the In Memoriam segment, Freeman, who shared the screen with Hackman in Unforgiven and Under Suspicion, delivered a heartfelt eulogy. "This week, our community lost a giant, and I lost a dear friend," he said. Freeman recalled Hackman's hope to be remembered simply as someone who tried to do good work, assuring the audience that his legacy far exceeded that humble wish. He closed with a poignant farewell. "Rest in peace, my friend." Star. The tribute was underscored by a haunting performance of Lacrimosa from Mozart's Requiem, performed by the Los Angeles Master Chorale, adding to the solemnity of the moment. Hollywood icons and co-stars alike shared their grief and admiration. Tom Hanks, who rarely posts on social media, made an exception, writing, "There has never been a Gene Hackman type. There's only been Gene." Clint Eastwood, who directed and acted alongside Hackman in Unforgiven, described him as intense and instinctive, never a false note. He was also a dear friend whom I will miss very much. Star director Francis Ford Coppola, who worked with Hackman on The Conversation, called him a great actor, inspiring and magnificent in his work and complexity. Meanwhile, Nathan Lane, his co-star in The Birdcage, marveled at his effortless skill, saying, "You could never catch him acting. Simple, true, thoughtful, and soulful, with just a hint of danger." Star Josh Brolin expressed his devastation on social media, mourning the loss of Hackman, his wife Betsy Arakawa, and even their beloved dog. A powerful scene from Crimson Tide, 1996, resurfaced on Twitter, quickly amassing over 3 million views as fans revisited Hackman's commanding screen presence. Even actors who never worked with him felt his influence. Viola Davis, who entered the industry after Hackman's retirement, paid tribute to his legacy, listing her favorite films of his and praising his ability to be both tough yet vulnerable. Will Smith, who co-starred with Hackman in Enemy of the State, 1998, called him an absolute force of nature on camera, expressing gratitude for the lessons he learned from him. As Gene Hackman's career soared to incredible heights, he continued delivering unforgettable performances. But behind the scenes was the relentless pressure of Hollywood and the passage of time beginning to take a toll on his health. In 1990, while starring in Loose Cannon's Postcards from the Edge and Narrow Margin, Hackman underwent a critical medical procedure, an angioplasty, to prevent a heart attack. At 60 years old, doctors inserted a small balloon-like tube to clear a dangerously blocked artery near his heart. According to a United Press International (UPI) report, he was just hours away from a major cardiac event. "We treated him just in time," Dr. Herbert Samler told UPI. "Luckily, the blockage was in a spot where we could easily reach it with a balloon catheter and open it up." Hackman had first experienced chest pain radiating down his arm while traveling in Oregon. Until then, he had no known heart issues. The blockage was simply the result of aging, doctors said. Years later, in a 2004 interview with Larry King on CNN, Hackman recalled the moment with striking calmness. When King asked if he had been scared, Hackman replied, "No, not really. I didn't fully understand how serious it was at the time, so I guess that's why. It all happened very fast. I went in and came out the same day." Pressed on whether he feared for his health, Hackman admitted, "I try to take care of myself. I don't have many fears. I think we all worry about dying, especially as we grow older. My main concern is making sure my wife and family are provided for. Other than that, I don't have a lot of fears." By 2009, Hackman revealed in an Empire interview that his health ultimately led him to retire from acting. "The doctor told me my heart wasn't in the right condition to handle stress," he shared. In retirement, he found joy in fishing, painting, and watching low-budget films with his wife in New Mexico. He also pursued a passion for writing, co-authoring 3 historical fiction books with archaeologist Daniel Lenihan, and later publishing Western and crime novels on his own. "Writing has a different kind of pressure," he explained. "It's something you can control because you're alone instead of having a whole film crew waiting for you to perform." But Hackman's health struggles didn't end there. In 2012, at 81 years old, he was struck by a pickup truck while cycling in Islamorada, Florida. The Florida Highway Patrol confirmed he wasn't wearing a helmet when the vehicle hit the back of his bicycle. He was airlifted to a trauma center in Miami. Though the accident initially raised concern, Hackman's spokeswoman later reassured Reuters that the truck had only lightly struck him. Due to the remote island location, he was flown to the hospital as a precaution. After suffering only minor bumps and bruises, he was released within days. From Hollywood icon to reclusive writer, Hackman's later years have been marked by resilience. Though he stepped away from the limelight, his legacy remains as strong as ever. Hackman's legacy was cemented with 2 Academy Awards: Best Actor for The French Connection, 1971, and Best Supporting Actor for Unforgiven, 1992. Co-stars and collaborators such as Kevin Costner and John Cusack hailed him as one of the most influential actors in film history. Gwyneth Paltrow, who played his daughter in The Royal Tenenbaums, shared a simple but heartfelt tribute with a broken heart emoji. Even Prince William honored Hackman, calling him a true genius of film who brought each character to life with authenticity and star quality. Star Gene Hackman may never have seen himself as a Hollywood star, but to those who worked with him and those who admired him, he was nothing short of one of the greatest actors of all time. And there you have it. Shocking new evidence uncovered in Gene Hackman's estate that raises more questions than answers. What does it all mean? Could this discovery change everything we thought we knew about his life and legacy? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding mystery.